Previously on Beyond Crazy.
I explained to my sister Savannah, who has sent me the same recipe probably about 50 times on Instagram, literally the exact same video, not even a different recipe, that I felt like it wasn't enough to actually show in a video. She swears on her life that I'm wrong. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video on Beyond Crazy. Today I get to eat a little bit of my words, as the last time I said that the recipe was not nearly going to be complicated enough to make a video. I was proven wrong. So apparently everyone does want to see some simplistic recipes, and one that everyone's been asking me to make since I started making Asian food on the channel has been teriyaki chicken. So today I'm going to show you how I would make that in a super simple way that's going to leave you with a bunch inside the fridge to use for some other time too. Alright, first things first, in my opinion this meal is not complete without rice, so I'm going to go ahead and put the rice cooker that Kraz picked up for us to good use. I'm going to go ahead and clean probably like 2 cups of white rice just until the water runs clear. I love convenience and being able to literally just put this washed rice in here, top it off with, I'm gonna do 3 cups of water. Being able to literally close it and push start on it is just so nice. That's where we have a little lamb, for anyone wondering. Although everyone inside this family hates it, I don't. So I love broccoli, especially with this meal. It really gives like a fresh, lighter taste, especially when you're eating something that is a little heavier like teriyaki. So I'm not gonna go crazy with it. I'm just gonna go ahead and separate these from the stock, or from the crown rather. Same as always, I'm not gonna repeat myself, but I'm gonna use the back of this spoon.
Ginger always finds a way in.
If you're cooking for Aaron, anybody, make sure that you use ginger. If you want a 10 out of 10, this is what it's gonna take. Look how nice that was. Those ones came right out.
He's a professional.
So lucky. So I didn't explain before, it's gonna be 1 head of garlic. I'm eyeballing. It's probably gonna end up being like 2 to 3 tablespoons of actual minced ginger as well. The big thing with this, you'll hear me say it all the time, doesn't really matter, just get it cut up. This actually does matter, it's not getting pureed or anything like that. So the bits that are left inside this are actually going to be inside your sauce. That being said, let's make sure that you literally go through as many times as you physically can to make sure that you get those tiny little pieces. Just a knife training thing here. Ordinarily, you want to be grabbing your blade. This is called a pinch grip. You're going to want to be pinching between your thumb and here for a normal cut. This one's a little bit different. So what you're going to do is you're going to use your 2 fingers here, your middle and your index, and your thumb. Imagine you're just making a no, like you're saying no in sign language, American Sign Language that is. You're going to pinch grip here. You're going to put your hand over the other side of the blade, and you're gonna work inside a rocking back and forth motion. And then as time goes on, you'll get more comfortable doing this, and you'll be able to literally just start going through nice and fast, just breaking everything down. Keep that knife in control, because this hand is essentially just keeping this side of the blade on the cutting board, so that this is a more of a lift and drop motion. Cool, so these are down to a good consistency now. As you can see, they're gonna be smaller, or around there the size of a sesame seed. That's what we're looking for. So what we're gonna go ahead and do now is we're gonna start the actual sauce. So this is probably the most simple sauce. I know inside the last episode I said that was the most simple recipe. This one's even more simple. So I went ahead and I picked up some gekiken. This is some traditional sake. I have mirin, which is it is alcoholic, but don't worry, we're gonna cook everything out of that. And that's gonna be cooking wine, and then just regular soy sauce. The combination of the 3 of these things are going to make up the teriyaki sauce. You can add sugar to it if you like that. Personally, I think that mirin is plenty sweet enough for this dish. I'm gonna use the aromatics from the ginger and the garlic to go ahead and build on that flavor, but it's all in one pan and it's gonna be super good. I'll show you how that works right now. So like I said before, it's gonna make a decent amount of sauce. I wanna be able to keep some for chicken through the week and whatever else the kids wanna throw some teriyaki sauce on. So I'm gonna throw this over medium heat. I'm gonna come into some high smoke point oil. This time we're using avocado, just a couple tablespoons. Anytime anyone says aromatics, the main carrier of aromatics is oil. So what we're gonna be doing is called blooming the aromatics within the oil. It's pretty much just cooking the aromatics in the oil to get all that flavor soaked up. But yeah, now you know, blooming. So I'm gonna go ahead and just give this a mix. It will only take about 3 minutes. I'm really just looking to give this a little bit of color, and then we'll start building our sauce. Cool, so like I said, it's gonna be 3 even parts of the 3 of these ingredients. I'm gonna go full bottles for these. I'll just make it easy for myself, and then I'll do the same amount for the soy. So I'm gonna let this run for I'm gonna bring it up to a simmer. I'm gonna let it run for probably 15 minutes. If you remember inside the last Asian cook video I did, I believe it was the beef and broccoli that I made the slurry. It's just gonna be a 1-to-1 of water to cornstarch. It's gonna act as a thickening agent for this. Don't worry about putting that in for a while. It will need it, but don't put that in until it's ready to finish and you're ready to turn it into a glaze. Right now, we're just gonna reduce it by probably about 1/3. That's gonna cook off all of that alcohol and everything. I'm not trying to get the kids drunk. When the time is right, I do actually really like sesame seeds, and the time is right in this recipe, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw as many sesame seeds as my heart desires. That many sesame seeds. I'm gonna turn this on low heat. No oil, no anything added to it. I'm just gonna turn this on just a tiny bit of heat and just move this around every once in a while. They are gonna turn dark. It's just going to smoke those off for us, or toast those off. We're not smoking them. If you have the time to do this before, definitely do it. My chicken has been sitting out for a little bit. I was foolish enough not to open it up and to salt it first. If you have the time, like I said, do it. For the best results, go ahead and salt these, put them inside your fridge, try to let them sit inside your fridge for probably about 24 hours, uncovered inside the fridge. It's gonna give you the most dry skin, it's gonna render that fat the best. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna clean this chicken, I'm just gonna rinse it under some cool water. After you're done washing these, make sure you're straining off as much of the liquid as possible. You are trying to pat them dry. Like I said, if you are smarter than myself, do as I say, not as I do. Make sure you clean your chicken, dry it all off, salt the ever-living daylights out of it, and then put it inside the fridge. Awesome, so I've got my chicken and everything right here. It's pretty dry. What I'm gonna go ahead and do now, I'm not adding any type of oil, any type of anything to this cast iron. I'm gonna come over here, skin side down. There's no need to lay away from you, no need to do any of that because there's no heat yet. It's gonna cover the entire base of this. Don't worry about overcrowding, it's not as important inside this because we're not looking for a sear. I'm gonna turn this heat up to medium. It's gonna render off all of that fat. I'll show you what it looks like in a second here, but it's gonna build up a lot of oil around the meat right now. Mine was way too salty. I'm not sure if it's the mirin I used or what the case was, or if I just went ahead and just old-fashioned just added too much. So that being said, I am gonna add sugar. I've already added probably 3, maybe even 4 cups so far. Keep in mind, this is so much sauce, like it's not gonna be as crazy as you think. I'm gonna come in now with my slurry, and I'm just gonna add this whole thing to it, and I'm gonna give this a nice mix. This is gonna work as our thickening agent. It's gonna turn this into more of a glaze for us. I know what you guys are thinking watching this at home. It doesn't look like a glaze right now. It's not going to look like a glaze until it cools down a little bit. That's completely fine. I added on all of my slurry plus a little bit extra, so double up on the slurry while you do it. And yeah, I'm gonna let this roll at a slow simmer for probably about 5 more minutes, let all the flavors incorporate, and then we'll get it plated up. Do as I say, not as I do. I didn't get enough oil for my rendered chicken, so I'm gonna go ahead and just inside a separate pan, I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of avocado oil. I'm gonna bring that up to medium to high heat, probably like 75% on this range. And then once that's good and done, I'm gonna throw my broccoli in. I'm not gonna season it, I'm not gonna do anything like that. My sauce has more than enough flavor to carry for the broccoli and the rice.
Yummy.
Yay!
This looks delicious. Broccoli is delicious.
The flavor of that teriyaki is amazing. I went through a phase where I wanted to eat teriyaki chicken like every day of my life.
I feel like you're still kind of in that phase. I feel like teriyaki chicken or teriyaki items is like your ginger for me.
Really?
Yeah, like I love ginger stuff, but for you it's teriyaki. It is delicious.
Amazing. It's amazing.
Way better than Panda Express. It's funny because we always save the little teriyaki packet from Panda Express,
We do.
but now we have a whole tub of
They
this.
renamed it Mandarin sauce instead of teriyaki sauce,
Did
but it
they?
used to be, yeah, this is way better than that.
Figured out how I can describe this. So teriyaki sauce, some of them are like way overly salty, some of them are way overly sweet. This is like the perfect mixture between the two, and it hits both of them, but you got like the sweet and savory taste. You know what I mean? So it's perfect, and the chicken was cooked amazingly. Thank you, Tristan.
What do we think, Jamie?
I like it. You did a good job, Kristen.
It's done perfectly. I really like it. Good job, Tristan.
All right, guys, there you have it. As you can see, I'm wearing totally different clothing. It is the following day. It was getting a little bit late. Everyone had to get up early today to get their days going. So I hope you enjoyed that cook of teriyaki chicken. I know the family definitely did. Thank you everyone for making this happen. Go ahead and like, subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what other dishes you'd like to see me make in the future. Love you guys. See you in the next one.